check. 1, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Where's my, here we go.
Do you remember the newest Hamoed with the Hamoed? That's your part. Don't get me confused.
No, you're good. All right. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to this Chol Hamoed Pesach service in between the Shabbat during Pesach, and we are going to be in Mishkan Tefillah as usual tonight. And we are going to begin on page 128 with Hine Matov.
Hine Matov u'manayim sheven achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim
שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Okay, very good. A little bit of a newer melody for that. Haven't done that one as frequently. We're going to turn back to page 127. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. And welcome also to those who are on YouTube. Enjoy. And we are going to now turn back to 128 for Maya Hayom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And we will now continue with the candle lighting. First, the candle reading on page 121. We can read together. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Want to do that? Make sure the mic's on over there. Oh, it is? Great. Never mind.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner Shabbat. Yom Tov.
Yom Tov. Very good. Okay. On page 125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom. On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. And now we're going to turn to page 138 for the Chadodi.
Leha leha dodi,
Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela la la. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Ishmi'anu el amiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem u'tiferei. La 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 lecha lecha dodi. Likrat likrat kala. Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha, Ki hi mekor habracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'macha shavati la la la, Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Hitoriri, Kiva orek umi ori, Uri uri, shir daberi. Kavod Adonai ayalik nigla la la, Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. We rise and face the main entrance to greet the bride, Shabbat. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'tzahala, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, la 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 la, Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela la la. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, Likrat likrat kala, Pene pene Shabbat nikabela. And before you sit down, I caught you. Let's welcome one another, your neighbors, find somebody you don't know, and welcome Shabbat Shalom. If you're on YouTube, you can send a chat if you would like. Okay, we're going to continue all these great conversations at the Oneg because we actually do have some Pesach food here for us this evening. So, yes, so you may all have a seat now. And we're going to turn to page 144 for the Hatzi Kaddish. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabba.
Amen.
V'yamad divrach urtei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kari, v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam olal me'ol maya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalau, Shmei Kudusha, Rehu, Le'ela, Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechemata, Damiran Bi'alma, V'Meru, Amen. We rise for the Baruch Hu, if you are able, page 146.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah. Baruch Adonai Hamvorah. Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamvorah. Le'olam.
You may be seated. We turn to page 148 and we'll read together in the middle of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. We now turn to page 152 for the watchword of our faith, the Shema. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated as we continue with the V'ahavta on page 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlektecha v'derech u'shokbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי,
והייתם
קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. Let's continue on page 159, and we'll read in English together. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles on earth, protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. And hopefully that can come true sooner rather than later. We turn to page 164, and we rise for the tefillah. How was it? Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'imahot, U'mevii gula livnei v'neihem, Leman shemo b'yahava, Melech ozer u'mashiach u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Morid atah, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umechayei emunato, lishenei afar, mikamocha bal gevurot, umido melach, melech memit, umechayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, v'neman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, m'chayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yalucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. And you may continue privately with your own thoughts and prayers through page 180, and please be seated when you've completed your private prayer. We'll continue on page 179 with the prayer for peace at the top of the page. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. And we'll complete the Amidah with Yehu L'Ratzon, page 180. Yehu L'Ratzon imrei fi Yehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Virgo Ali Virgo Ali Yehu L'Ratzon imrei fi Vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Virgo Ali Virgo Ali. We now are going to, before we do the Drash, we're going to do the Misha Berach, page 371. And tonight, we are thinking about those who are ill. Amelia Parsons, Anita Rosenzweig, Bert Bronk, Elise Durlam Ching, Fred Belkin, Daniel Hurst, Harvey Malin, Heather Mullis, Joyce Levy-Levine, Justin or Alana Garcia, Nancy Lever, Natalie Latovsky, Oren Zwick, Rabbi Ziona Zalazo, Robin Way, Shari Morris, Steve Noah Well, Stu Needle, and any whom you would like to add out loud or privately. And we'll continue on page 371. Sheberach avoteinu mikor habracha ve'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, Okay, and now, what you've all been waiting for, the drosh. Right? Well, first I just want to say that glad to see all of you here tonight. And for anybody who wasn't here on Wednesday night for second night Shabbat, wow. Second night Seder, Shabbat, yeah. How many nights are there to Shabbat? That's what I wanted. Was it Tuesday? Okay, whatever. It was so crazy, I forget what service it was. We had about 110 people here. The food was awesome. Paul made a great dinner for us. Rabbi did a phenomenal job with it. And the Religious Practices Committee had our little feedback session, and most of it was positive, but we found a few ways to make it even better next year. So sign up now. Well, not yet. Anyway, so tonight's drash is pretty brief. It's based on a Devar Torah by Robert Tornberg. I'm going to deliver it in the first person as if I were Mr. Tornberg, but I just want to let you know that I'm not. So I have changed a few little things in here. But as someone who spent over 40 years as a Jewish educator, I have always been fascinated by the Pesach Seder. In fact, I've often said that it is the most perfect lesson plan ever created. The Seder, when planned and done well, is truly experiential education at its best. It makes use of all five senses, the imagination, and the mind, both the right and left brains, as well as the heart. I've seen this encounter engage toddlers, teens, parents, and grandparents all at the same time, speaking to each one at an appropriate but different level for that person. Furthermore, the Seder is not just an event that takes place and then is forgotten. Over the years, I've come to realize, and I've seen this too personally, that's me talking now. I've come to realize that people who know little about Jewish history or Torah can somehow draw on their Passover memories and experience and tell the story of the Exodus with pretty good credibility. In other words, the lesson plan is not simply entertaining and interesting, it actually works. But the Seder is not simply an educational success. It is also among the most popular American Jewish practices. According to recent studies, over 80% of American Jews observe Passover, usually with some sort of Seder at home or with friends. And that's according to Rabbi Niles Goldstein, spiritual leader of Congregation Beth Shalom in Napa Valley. And I think we've all experienced that many more people show up for a Seder than they do for either a Shabbat service or joining a synagogue or whatever it might be. Another reality is that while many of us find a way to partake of the Seder, most of us do not also take the opportunity to attend Pesach worship services either on the holiday itself or on the Shabbat that occurs during the 8 days of the festival. That's tonight. Those who don't extend their Pesach observance to include these services, of course, don't get to hear the special Torah readings for the holiday or listen to any of the related drashot, like this one. Of course, you all who are here are in person or viewing are the happy exceptions. We're going to talk for just a few minutes about the Torah reading assigned for Shabbat, Chol, Hamoed, Pesach. That's the Sabbath. The reading comes from the book of Exodus and is part of Parashat Ki Tisa. Included in this short section, we find Moses asking God to reveal God's self and God's essence to him, God's response to the request, God's restoration of the covenant, the creation of a new set of tablets to replace the broken ones, and some of the terms of the covenant. This last section contains the commandment to observe 3 festivals, Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. In reading this section of the Torah this year, I found myself most interested in the portion in which God reveals God's self to Moses. When Moses says, "Oh, let me behold your presence," God responds as follows, and this is translated, "I will make all my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim before you the name eternal, and the grace that I grant, and the compassion I show, but you cannot see my face, for a human being may not see me and live." And the Eternal said, "See, there is a place near me Station yourself on the rock, and as my presence passes by, I will put you in a cleft of the rock and shield you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will take my hand away, and you will see my back, but my face must not be seen. So the question kind of comes up, is this a literal thing or not so literal? The passage has garnered a lot of commentary over the centuries, and while many have argued this vision of God is literal, the comments of Ibn Ezra and Gersonides make more sense to me. Both of them argue that this revelation is metaphorical. According to Gersonides, my back means the events that I leave in my wake. Ibn Ezra makes it clear that while the Torah often speaks of God in human terms, God has no face, no back, no mouth. He quotes another scholar who says that seeing God's back means you will see the end of my light, but you cannot see its beginning. In other words, God put Moses on the cleft of the rock and let him see God's back in order to teach him, and perhaps us, that while we cannot see God directly, as God has no body, we can see God through God's acts in the world. In fact, if we pay attention to God's creation, we cannot help but see God in the miracle of breathing, in the connection we feel to those we love, in the beauty of a sunset or a snow-capped mountain peak, in the birth of a baby or the quiet death of an elderly person, or in the face of a friend. In fact, there's nothing in our experience that is alien from experiencing God if we choose to perceive the world that way. The problem is, however, that we don't usually make that choice. We don't regularly tune in, which brings us back to the Seder. Is it possible that this assigned portion of the Torah is there to suggest that the experience at the Passover table is actually designed to push us towards recognizing God in our midst? Could it be that the Seder puts us, metaphorically, in the cleft of a rock, so we pay attention to all the hints of God's actual presence? Is the Seder not just a lesson plan, but also a chance to use our senses to hear sweet music, see the faces of those we love, taste and smell the foods that God, and of course the person who cooked them, created, and understand the miracles God performed for our ancestors and for us? All of these are manifestations of God. Mr. Tornberg concludes with this: I don't know why I read this familiar section of the Torah with fresh eyes this year, but from now on, I will not only view the Seder as a model of how to learn about our past, but I will also see it as an opportunity to connect even more closely to God as I focus on all the wonderful acts God has performed in order to give us a pathway to God's very presence. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, we are now on the home stretch here, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to count the Omer, and that you can find on page 570. And actually, let's see if this is. It is.
Of course it is.
I knew that. I just wanted to give Erwin some credit. Thank you, Erwin. Always on track with the Seder. With the counting of the Omer. And actually there, let's see, Omerim or Omerot. I'm not sure what the plural is, but for those who don't know, it's not just the one that you're seeing straight ahead, but the mosaic over there has 7 weeks that go horizontally, and there's 7 in each one, so we're counting the Omer over there too, although the little covers are a little hard to see from far away, so if you haven't seen it close up, I encourage you to walk by, see the beautiful artwork and the little cover-ups, which when we reach the 49th or the 50th day, it will all be revealed. Okay, so on page 570. On the top, Hineni muchan umzuman lekayem mitzvat aseh shel sfirat haomer. I am ready to fill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Let's see. Hayom arba'a yamim la'omer. Today is the fourth day of the Omer. I didn't bother with the weeks because we haven't done a week. 0 weeks and 4 days. Okay. We have done what we need to do there. And so now we are going to the Elenu, page 586. And for our, yes, please rise. And for our visitors, and let me point out, Lisa here, raise your hand. Lisa's visiting because she's the mom of a groom coming up for a wedding in June that's going to be held here, even though the people don't live here, but we're hosting. And Bill, who was dropping by on his way back to Baltimore. And so welcome them all at the Oneg if you haven't already said hello. And for everyone, we're going to be on the top of 586. And if you're not familiar with the change that happened in this prayer book, it sort of combines the Elenu, scopes it down a little bit. So just if you're not familiar with it, pay attention. Elenu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo teshamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mimal. Ushkinatu zo b'gave meromim, hu Eloheinu eino. V'anachnu korim, u'mishtahavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Page 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. So at this time, we recognize the recent passing of Sandy Shapiro, longtime member here at Congregation Temple Adas Shalom, who passed away in Florida, and Evelyn Bell, also longtime member here, who passed away recently. She was in Iowa. And yard sites that we are observing this week are Amelie Diamond, Bess Belkin, David Pollock, Ethel Walpert, Fanny Ostrowski, Gertrude Shelby, Harriet Folis, Joseph Snyderman, Lena Lippman, Molly Berger, Paul Lynch Sr., Raymond Pastor, Rose Goodman, Saul Isidore Silver, Stanford Folis, and the others that anyone that has not been mentioned. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We continue with the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. All those observing yahrzeit or are in mourning, please rise. And anyone for whom it's your custom to rise at this time, you may rise as well. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imramav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. And now it is time for announcements. Also your favorite part of the service, right? Okay. Wow, so much going on. I'm going to try to limit this to a few things. So first of all, check your bulletin on email. Most everything's on the front page. But next Friday night is going to be a pretty big night. It's graduation Shabbat. We honor our seniors who are graduating. And we have a graduate. Shall you say who your graduate is? Naomi's graduating. That's right. Okay. So it's not only graduation Shabbat though. It's eye-level Torah, and what we've done recently, as you may know or not know, is we get two people to hold the scroll up now, and Rabbi Meeka reads it so everybody can see, and the entire congregation. It's pretty cool. So we plan to do that. And we have a speaker from JNF USA to talk about Green Horizons, which is a program for youth in Israel having to do with hiking and learning about the land, etc. And there's going to be a nice oneg that night. I have it on good authority. Is that our oneg?
Yes,
oh,
it is.
Wow. Then on Saturday the 4th, we have the Community Holocaust Memorial Service at 6 p.m., and we'll have a guest pianist that night, and it should be a moving event. On Saturday, May 11th, the book review for The Red Tent. If you haven't read it, you can read it between now and then. It's a quick read. And Anita Diamond is a great writer. And then the Sisterhood Year-End event is June 2nd. The Brides of Bluebeard. What is that all about?
It's very exciting. Well, first we're having lunch together locally in Churchville, and we proceed then to Tudor Hall on Tudor Lane, the home of the Maryland Booths, John Wilkes and the like. Okay. And we get a tour of their home. That takes about 45 minutes. And then immediately after, we have an author who is going to tell us about Bluebeard's Brides. And they are sort of like these amours of John Wilkes Booth. So they're all connected. So we're going to have a lovely day. We have limited tickets, as our flyer will announce, only 20 tickets at this point. And so it's first pay, first serve. We're opening it to Sisterhood members, and if we end up having extra tickets, then we will announce friends, spouses who may want to come. We may be able to get a few more tickets closer to the date, but they made me promise not to take more than 30 because they only have 50, and they have walk-up guests, and they don't want to disappoint them. So it's sort of a catchy thing. But
So take your time ordering, because some
Someone
spouses
already-
want to go. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
I have
and-
the first buyer already, so
Oh.
only 19 left.
And the last thing I want to mention is our congregational meeting is going to be Saturday evening, June 8th. You'll want to be there because Paul Lever's catering it. That's probably the primary reason you want to be there. But we're going to have a great meeting as well, and then we're going to have a different kind of entertainment. We're going to, for how many remember the awards ceremonies that we did between 2000 and 2015, and then COVID kind of interrupted, and we're going to go back to have that. We're going to thank a lot of people that night, and more on that as we get closer. Okay, is there any other announcements that we have neglected to provide? Okay, well we're 7:51. Just saying. No one's as fast as Linda. Okay, but we're going to conclude with a song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shall we do Adon Olam?
We can.
For old time's sake?
For old time's sake.
All right, so that would be on page 625, unless you know the words, in which case, just sing along anyway. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Echad V'yein Sheni L'hamshir lo l'hachbira B'li reshit B'li tachlit V'lo ha'oz v'ha'misra V'hu eli v'chai go'ali V'tzur chevli b'eit zahara V'lu nisi umanosli Menat kosi biyom ekra biyado afkid ruchi B'eit ishan v'ya'ira B'imruchi gaviyati Adonai